What's up, people? What's up, people? What's up, people? It is your boy, MM2K of PNTS Network, CloudDosage. Back again with a special episode of what we like to call GFN Countdown. Now, this is a new show where we go over the latest and greatest over GFN to help educate people about the platform, let them know what's going on in the weekly blogs. I give my analysis of it, and then I count down my top 3 things from this week in the GFN blog. We appreciate you for joining us for this. And then, again, this is a special live episode that we're doing that we normally wouldn't do because the show is normally pre-recorded. But we figured, let's get with the people. Let's chat with the people and see what they have to say. All right. So with no further ado, let's get into today's news. The blog entry starts off as Geforce NOW. RTX 4080 SuperPods are rolling out right now, bringing RTX 4080 class performance and features to Ultimate members, including support for NVIDIA Ada Lovelace GPU architecture, technologies like NVIDIA DLSS 3. This GFN Thursday brings updates to some of Geforce NOW's hottest games that take advantage of these amazing technologies, all from the cloud. All right. So with no further ado, what I'm going to do is bring you our number 3 item from this week in GFN's news.
Number 3.
All right. So number 3 is the expansion. There looks to be an expansion of the RTX 4080 SuperPods upgrades as they're nearly finished, all right, in the London data center, expanding the number of regions where Ultimate members can experience the most powerful cloud gaming technology on the planet. Look for updates on Twitter once the upgrade is complete, and be sure to check back each week to see which cities light up next on the map, right? Amazing stuff. I'm going to tell you right now, those 4080 SuperPods are no joke. I can't wait till they're fully released in the States. We'll talk more about that on the back end, but that is our number 3 item, is that these SuperPods scene. They didn't forget about our friends over the pod. They're nearly finished. All right. With that said, let's go on to our next item.
Number 2.
All right. Our number 2 item is that there are more games. All right. There are more games coming to the platform like Ghost Recon Breakpoint via Steam. Okay. So get ready for to play some more games, 6 more games. Join the supported list in the Geforce NOW library this week. These games include the aforementioned Ghost Recon Breakpoint, released on Steam. Oddballers, new release on Ubisoft Connect. Watch Dogs Legion, which is a new release on Steam. Cygnus Enterprises, which is available via Steam. And Rain World via Steam. And last but not least, the Eternal Cylinder via Steam. A lot of people are ecstatic that the Ubisoft games have now hit the Steam store again. I think that's a great thing as well. Gives people more options, and as long as they become available on Steam, you know what I'm saying, that helps the likelihood of them being on GFN, even though they were on via the Ubisoft Plus store, and I believe some of them were on via the Epic Games store, but a lot more people prefer to merge their games with the Steam storefront, and GFN is helping, giving you those options. All right, but that's cool and all, that's great and fantastic. But let's now bring you to our number 1 item. With no further ado, let's do it.
Number 1.
Our number 1 item is Hitman. Hitman makes it to the GFN store. It's already been there, but there's some noticeable improvements Become the legendary assassin Agent 47 and use creativity and improvisation to execute ingenious, spectacular eliminations in sprawling sandbox locations all around the globe. Stick to the shadows to stalk and eliminate targets, or take them out in plain sight. Along with DLSS 3 support, Ultimate members can enjoy ray-traced opaque reflections and shadows in the world of Hitman as they explore open world missions with multiple ways to succeed. I'm here to tell you, man. Again, we got jokers in the chat like my homie Cold Blood Sensei. You know what I'm saying? He's a dedicated device gamer, and the people at GFN will be the first ones to tell you that daddy device gaming is important. However, we have some of our gaming colleagues that want to play games that don't have access to this incredible hardware. And so in years past, if you didn't have access to this incredible hardware, you were just stuck like Chuck. That is no longer the case, man. With the new 4080 SuperPod supplied to you via GFN, the game outputs are phenomenal. They rival hardware. And for those that can access it and that can play it and can enjoy it, there's no better, bigger gap fill for you not having access or being able to obtain this hardware than you being able to play and enjoy these games in some of the greatest fidelity. There's no better stopgap than Geforce NOW. Simply put, there is no better stopgap than Geforce NOW. So if you felt like, oh man, I can't upgrade because I don't have the money for this, or it's just too expensive, whatever, and I just don't have I don't have the time, I gotta wait for the downloads, fret no more. Via Geforce NOW, you can access some of these games, and they simplify them for you. They take the overcomplication that's often attached to PC gaming, and they simplify it for you like you're playing on a console. But if you're looking for the biggest and baddest fidelity and the competitive edge via NVIDIA Reflex, DLSS 3 support for fidelity and things like that, it gets no better than this. I'm telling you. You have to experience it for yourself. And via the meeting that I had with Geforce NOW, we talked about this, I believe, last week. There are games that are going to support NVIDIA Reflex in the cloud that aren't even supported natively yet. And I'm telling y'all, after trying these 4080 SuperPods, that NVIDIA Reflex is no joke. It gives you such a competitive edge. Like, even before the implementation of this, Digital Foundry had already clocked in and found out that NVIDIA Geforce NOW was timing in better than dedicated hardware like the Xbox Series X. They were showing less latency than that. It's gotten even better, unbelievably. So these new additions to games that are fantastic, games that are already in the catalog, they're just going to keep getting better and better and better. You know, we got games like Atomic Heart and other great games that are on their way. And I'm telling you, people may say, you know what? I'm going to get it day one in Game Pass. That's going to be awesome. You can have it day one in Game Pass. I want all of the bells and whistles, and I didn't even have to pay $500 for it. Via Geforce NOW Ultimate, I'm going to have the best looking rendition of that game. Click everything up to Ultimate. I'm going to play at 60 frames per second. This is going to be sick. So kudos to NVIDIA Geforce NOW with implementing all this stuff and boosting up these games, these already fantastic games that are in the catalog. All right. There's also some honorable mentions, so we definitely don't want to forget about them. All right. Some other honorable mentions in today's blog post is that NVIDIA DLSS has revolutionized graphics rendering using AI and GeForce RTX Tensor cores to boost frame rates while delivering crisp, high-quality images that rival native resolution. I say it again, it rivals native resolution. Powered by new hardware capabilities of Ada Lovelace architecture, DLSS 3 generates entirely new high-quality frames rather than just pixels. It combines DLSS super resolution technology and DLSS frame generation reconstruct 7 technology, or 7/8 of the displayed pixels, accelerating performance. DLSS 3 games are backwards compatible with DLSS 2 technology. When developers integrate DLSS 3, DLSS 2, aka DLSS Super Resolution, is supported by default. Additionally, integration of DLSS 3 include NVIDIA Reflex, which is so awesome, reducing system latency for all GeForce RTX users and making games more responsive. Support for DLSS 3 is growing, and soon GeForce Now Ultimate members can experience this technology with Hitman, World of Assassination, and Marvel Midnight Suns, to not forget about that as well. So all great stuff. I'm excited. I'm ecstatic. It's hard for me to explain. I have some games, y'all, that I've been playing with the new SuperPod. And these games, I like for instance, it's hard for me to explain. I'm stumbling over my words. These games look so good and they feel so good. I didn't think it was possible. I have a 3070. I have a 3070. I have an 9th generation i7. Not too shabby, right? When I put in the new SuperPod access, the game felt better because I can go up to 120 hertz in 4K. And if I want to bump the resolution down lower than 4K, I can get up to 240 hertz, depending upon the game, right? But I was playing Division 2 4K, all the bells and whistles checked. I can't do that on my 3080, right? And for those of you that are still have the 20 series or the 10 series RTX cards or equivalent, and you're like, dang, man, I'm gonna have to get a 4090 in order to enjoy. I don't think I can spring that. It doesn't matter. This felt better. I've never played games that looked this good and felt this good, period. And if you're worried about, well, I don't really get into PC games because PC games are very complicated. The thing that is complicated about PC gaming is that depending upon the hardware that you have natively, you might have to adjust certain things, and you might, I'm not getting 60 frames per second here, but I want the resolution a little bit sharper. And you'll find yourself more in the options, in the settings, than you do the actual games. GeForce Now takes that all away, where you're basically plugging and playing because you have this fantastic power under the hood of those SuperPods. So this is all great and fantastic stuff. You can't beat this with a stick. I am telling you that right now, what you're going to want to do is GFN. They haven't said this specifically. This is just a guess from me. I don't know this specifically, but they're now coming out with an introductory price, keeping the access to the 4080 tier, the new SuperPods under the Ultimate tier. They're keeping that price at $19.99. This is so phenomenal that may not last. Again, I'm not saying this with certainty, like I know, but I am. If I'm running GeForce Now, I'm like, yo, this is prime stuff. So you may not get that same price ongoing. If I'm you, I'm hopping in on that introductory. I'm hopping in on that price right now. I'm getting grandfathered pretty much into how the tier is working right now. And I'm hopping in for that $19.99, man. You can't beat it with a stick. If you consider the fact that the consoles, right? Like this thing, the new SuperPods have 64 teraflops, so they're outdoing the consoles, period. But if you look at the fact that these consoles are out, they're struggling at 4K. You're hearing things like Starfield might be 30 frames per second, or if it is 60, the resolution is going to be heavily bumped. You're hearing things about people having complaints about performance of Forspoken because these machines aren't powerful enough to give you that constant 4K 60 with all the bells and whistles that people have been asking for. They just paid $500 for these machines. And considering that not all, but some rumors are dangling out there that some of these console makers are flirting with the possibility of a mid-gen refresh. So they want you to pay another $500. That $19.99 a month USD for Geforce Now, you can't beat that with a stick. I feel like sometimes I love my console, don't get me wrong. I got it, love it, playing it. I'm enjoying Forspoken right now. But sometimes I feel like with these always changing iterations of these consoles, we're getting beaten in the head with a cash register. I don't want to do that anymore. I want supreme performance. I want it, and I want it now. And you get it with Geforce Now Ultimate. All right. And then there's the priority tiers and so forth. So definitely Geforce Now is doing what they can at different tiers to making plug and play gaming accessible for you. All right. So this is a fantastic blog post this week. Love to see the updates still coming. Love to see the expansion they're still working on. And I can't wait till next week. With that said, that's it from me. Let's go to the chat. Let's get what people are saying in the chat. Vet is in the house. We got Vet Cloud Gaming. Thank you for coming through. We got Dre in the house. He says, yo. We got Cold Blood Sensei. He says Starfield on GFN xCloud is a no-go. No mod support is just horrible. I don't know if Starfield is even going to be available on GFN because you know what they're doing with the as far as the what Xbox is doing with their games. So we don't. That's probably not even an issue here when you're dealing with GFN, because I don't know if Starfield is going to be available there. And I thank everybody for coming through with that. That is it from your boy. Let me know what you think about all this in the comment section below. We might do another one of these lives. These were fun. But again, keep your eyes tuned out for this. We do this weekly. This is called GFN Countdown. 3 biggest things, which was the expansion. They're working on that expansion in London, more games, and the added DLSS 3 support that is coming to Hitman and Marvel Knights. Let me make sure. Marvel Suns, not Marvel Knights. Coming to Marvel Midnight Suns. All right. With that said, I appreciate all of y'all. Thank y'all so much for coming through. Until next time, have a wonderful gaming day. Peace.